Birth rape continues to impact millions of birthing mothers around the world. In 2007, Venezuela brought into legislation a law to protect women giving birth. Birth rape refers to violations on women during childbirth. Experience and research shows that the day a child is born, a vast majority of birthing mothers leave hospital with a lot of trauma. The root cause of the trauma comes from birth workers who do not have the education, skills, or desire to treat birthing mothers with trauma-informed care, integrity, and dignity. Abuse, disrespect, coercion, bullying, and violations of consent are rampant in labor wards and other gynecological procedures, and no one is immune. Hello, my name is Nyaruai Murithi, and I have experienced obstetric violence when I was giving birth to my last born, and it was in a private hospital, and I was in the labor ward with another lady who was giving birth, and we had one nurse who was helping us both through the entire process. And because my labor had lasted for so long compared to the other woman, she just came in. Me, I was still laboring. She found me in the ward. She just came in, and within 2 hours, she had already given birth. And when the nurse was helping her to deliver her beautiful baby, she kept on comparing me with her. She was giving me all these utterances like, "Oh, why are you not giving birth very fast? Why are you not having a pregnancy like this one? Her pregnancy is so smooth. Her labor is so smooth. Oh my God." And I have other things I need to do, and this time I'm distressed. Of course, I just want to have this baby as soon as possible, and now there's this compounding pressure from the nurse. I'm seeing this lady giving birth. There was so much that was happening at that time. So when my turn came to give birth, and this nurse was helping me to give birth, you are told to lie down on your back, and then you hold your legs. You're told to hold your legs so that you can push the baby, and it was a very uncomfortable position for me. Now, once I've started seeing other ways in which you can give birth, that was very uncomfortable for me, and I had to still go ahead and do it. I remember when I was still giving birth, she kept on telling me, "Oh, you better push very fast." And I was like, how does that even make sense? I'm not in control of this situation. So it was very hostile, a very hostile environment for me. I remember I got so distressed that another nurse had to come in and start squeezing my stomach from here so that they can push the baby. So all these are just examples, and I'm just one of thousands of women who have gone through these types of abuse.
My name is Esther Kimani. I am a doula, a childbirth educator, a lactation specialist, and an infant care specialist as well. I support new parents all the way from pregnancy, birth, and the postpartum period. The birth spaces that we have to be safe for the mother, both physically, ensuring that baby and mother, medically, everything is going okay and they are safe and you save their lives. But they also have to be safe in terms of the emotional, the psychological space. So we find that there's a lot of trauma that's going on in hospitals, especially, or in health centers where a mother is going through. And the birth trauma that a woman goes through, they will have it till the day they die. Research has shown that an Alzheimer's patient can forget her name, but she cannot forget trauma in birth. It goes that deep into the psyche of a woman. So it's important for these spaces to become safe, so that a mother is treated with kindness and respect, because it's a vulnerable time. It is important also for you as the birthing person to have information about your care and to give informed consent and to ask questions and not to accept something that feels wrong to you. It is okay for you to ask, to say, what are you going to do? Ask information and demand that you're given answers, because when you do that, then you become empowered and you will go through your birth in a more, would I call it, positive way. When you have information, it helps you to ask questions. It helps you to be more proactive about your birth rather than reactive. for the birth workers, my fellow birth workers, it's important for us to be kind to women in labor and birth, for you to explain what it is that you're doing, for us to be able to give lots more of love and attention to this woman rather than abuse. And there's a term right now, it's being called as birth rape, when things are done to a woman with no knowledge, no consent, and she's screaming and she's saying no. And I know sometimes we are rushing to save a baby's life or a mother's life, but just saying we need to do this with some kindness makes a very big difference. So the birth space needs to be safe from all fronts. I'm so passionate for women feeling empowered after a birth, because if a woman does not feel empowered, it starts affecting the care of her baby. It will affect her milk supply, so she might not get any milk because she's so traumatized about her own birth experience. So having that in the spaces, changing how we do things in our birth spaces, changing how even you as the birthing person approaches it, by having information, by having the right to ask questions about your care, by giving informed consent. So you're informed about that. When you're giving your consent, you know exactly what you're consenting to. This is important. It is your right as a birthing person to have the care that you're paying for, because you're paying for it, and then you will feel more empowered. When you have an empowering birth, you will be an empowered parent, and you will actually give your baby what they need. When a mom is not empowered and she goes through trauma due birth, it predisposes her to postpartum depression. She tends to have issues with her milk supply because her brain is not cooperating. She tends to really feel down and really hard for her to come back, to start in this very challenging time. Having a new baby is very challenging. So when we add depression that comes from trauma in birth, it can really make it difficult for a mom. So we should make our birth spaces safe on all fronts for their mother.